Chapter 7. Tris. Christina turns a black stone over and over in her hand as we walk. It takes me a few seconds to realize that it's actually a piece of coal from the Dauntless choosing ceremony bowl. I didn't really want to bring this up, but then I can't stop thinking about it, she says. At 10 of the transfer initiates we started with, only 6 are alive. Ahead of us is the Hancock building, and beyond it, Lakeshore Drive, the lazy strip of pavement that I once flew over like a bird. We walk the cracked sidewalk side by side, our clothes smeared with Edward's blood, now dry. It hasn't hit me yet that Edward, by far the most talented transfer initiate we had, the boy's whose blood I cleaned off the dormitory floor, is dead. He's dead now. And the nice ones, I say, just you, me, and Myra, probably. I haven't seen Myra since she left the Dauntless compound with Edward, right after his eye was claimed by a butter knife. I know they broke up not long after that, but I never found out where she went. I don't think I ever exchanged more than a few words with her anyway. A set of doors to the Hancock building are already open, dangling from their hinges. Uriah said that he would come here early to turn on the generator, and sure enough, when I touch my finger to the elevator button, it glows through my fingernail. Have you been here before? I say as we walk into the elevator. No, Christina says. Not inside. I mean, I didn't get to go ziplining, remember? Right. I lean against the wall. You should try to go before we leave. Yeah. She's wearing red lipstick. It reminds me of the way candy stains children's skin if they eat it too sloppily. Sometimes I get where Evelyn's coming from. So many awful things happened. Sometimes it feels like a good idea to stay here and just try to clean up the mess before we get ourselves involved in another. She smiles. She smiles a little. But of course, it's not going to do that. I'm not going to do that, she adds. I'm not even sure why. Curiosity, I guess. Have you ever talked to your parents about it? Sometimes I forget that Christina isn't like me, with no family loyalty to tie her to one place anymore. She has a mother and a little sister, both former candor. They have to look after my sister, she said. They don't know if it's safe out there. They don't want to risk her. But they would be okay with you leaving? They were okay with me joining another faction. They'll be okay with this too, she says. She looks down at her shoes. They just want me to live an honest life, you know? And I can't do that here. I just know that I can't. The elevator door opens and the wind hits us immediately. Still warm, but woven with threads of winter cold. I hear voices coming from the roof, and I climb the ladder to get to them. It bounces with each of my footsteps, but Christina holds it steady for me until I reach the top. Uriah and Zeke are there, throwing pebbles off the roof and listening to the clatter when they hit the windows. Uriah tries to bump Zeke's elbow before he throws to mess him up, but Zeke is too quick for him. Hey, they say in unison when they spot Christina and me. Wait, are you guys related or something? Christina says, grinning. They both laugh, but Uriah looks a little dazed, like he's not quite connected to this moment or this place. I guess losing someone the way he lost Marlene can do that to a person, though it's not what it did to me. There are no slings on the roof for the zip line, and that's not why we came. I don't know why the others did. But I wanted to be up high. I wanted to see as far as I could. But all the land west of where I am is black, like it's draped in a dark blanket. For a moment, I think I can make out a glimmer of light on the horizon. But the next, it's gone. Just a trick of the eyes. The others are quiet too. I wonder if we're all thinking the same thing. What do you think's out there? Uriah finally says. Zeke just shrugs, but Christina ventures a guess. What if it's more of the same? Just more crumbling city, more factions, more of everything. Can't be, Uriah says, shaking his head. There has to be something else. Or there's nothing, Zeke suggests. Those people who put us all in here, they could just be dead. Everything could be empty. I shivered. I'd never thought of that before, but he's right. We don't know what's happened out there since they put us in here, or how many generations have lived and died since they did. We could be the last people left. It doesn't matter, I say, more sternly than I mean to. It doesn't matter what's out there. We have to see it for ourselves, and then we'll deal with it once we have. We stand there for a long time. I follow the bumpy edges of the buildings with my eyes until all the lit windows smear into a line. Then Uriah asks Christina about the riot, and our still silent moment passes as if carried away by the wind. The next day, Evelyn stands among the pieces of Janine Matthews' portrait in the Erudite headquarters lobby and announces a new set of rules. Former faction members and factionless alike are gathered in the space, spilling out into the street to hear what our new leader has to say. And factionless soldiers line the walls, their fingers poised over the triggers of their guns, keeping us under control. Yesterday's events made it clear that we are no longer able to trust each other, she says. She looks ashen and exhausted. We will be introducing more structure into everyone's lives until our situation is more stable. The first of these measures is a curfew. Everyone is required to return to their assigned living spaces at 9 o'clock at night. They will not leave those spaces until 8 o'clock the next morning. The guards will be patrolling the streets at all hours to keep us safe. I snort and try to cover it up with a laugh. Christina elbows me in the side and touches her finger to her lips. I don't know why she cares. It's not like Evelyn can hear me all the way from the front of the room. Tori, former leader of Dauntless, outstood by Evelyn herself, stands a few feet away from me, her arms crossed. Her mouth twitches into a sneer. It's almost time to prepare for a new factionless way of life. Starting today, everyone will begin to learn the jobs the factionless have done for as long as we can remember. We will then all do those jobs on a rotation schedule, in addition to the other duties that have traditionally been performed by the factions. Evelyn smiles without really smiling. I don't know how she does it. We're all... I'm gonna continue this part later, guys, because my phone's about to die. And, well, yeah. See you next time. Bye!